Well, today marks 1 week since the deadly shooting at the Natalie building on the St. Francis campus in Tulsa. After arriving on scene minutes after the 911 call started, police rushed into the building and found the shooter dead and several others who had been killed. Those include doctors Preston Phillips and Stephanie Husin, as well as Amanda Glenn, a receptionist, and William Love, a patient.
Oh, this week I had the chance to have coffee, sit down, talk with Tulsa Police Chief Wendell Franklin. We talked about what goes through the mind of an officer as they do race toward a threat.
When we respond to that, we know that all of our safeguards that we would normally have to ourselves, we have to throw those out of the window and respond to with the intent to engage. It is going to, in our minds, it's going to be a violent engagement. It is going to be it is going to be a bad day to be a police officer, and luckily we didn't have to engage them. That is the mindset of every officer that entered that building. There were officers that entered that building that did not have their vest on because they were quickly trying to get into that building to save lives, and they disregard the safety of themselves to engage that person or to change that person's behavior to save lives.
Well, the chief tells me there's probably not a person on his department that did not have some kind of affiliation with one of the victims. He also tells me a lot of people have told him that they were in the building at the time or had an appointment there earlier in the day. He says it is a reminder to understand just how precious life really is.
And of course, Tulsa Tough is this coming week. The big race is this weekend. It's a St. Francis event, of course. And Chief Franklin is a Tulsa native. He knows what a big event this is. You spoke with him about that?
Yeah, I did. Of course, when we're talking about an event that is this close to what happened last Wednesday, it is nonstop cycling. It's a lot of entertainment. It's supposed to be a lot of fun for people to come out and watch this, but it does, of course, come at a solemn time for our city. Chief Franklin did have a message for the community on that note. Take a listen here.
I think we're a resilient community. I think the community wants to commemorate the moment, but also realize how important it is to live. So this is a great event for that. Again, I understand people's anxiety about being out and about in our city, but I hope they realize that they have a lot of great men and women in uniform behind the badge that are looking out for them and doing all that we can to ensure that everything remains safe.
Now, the chief and I talked for about an hour yesterday on a lot of different topics. We'll have much more from that conversation all day here on 2 News, as well as throughout the week right here on 2 News Today. Again, we want to send a big thank you to the chief, the police department, of course, New York Bagel on Brookside that allowed us to take up some space in their morning as well.
They're always great neighbors to us. Well,